Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of TableTakes. So excited to have you with us. We're just going to jump right in. I'm one of your hosts, Noir, but let's get to the most important part, the other host. So, let's start with Bonsai. It's always great to start with Bonsai. Bonsai, how have you been this week? What you been up to?
Hello. I have been very, very good this week. Just me and my partner have been very, very busy because shameless plug. We have he designed RPG, a really great, fun, dumb comedy RPG about cavemen, and you have to grunt. We're so excited that we're actually sharing PDF. You won't get physical copies, but we got the PDF for you all to enjoy. I think you'll have a fun time if you love grunting at your fellow friends in caveman-like speech.
It is so
All
good.
right. I don't think we can move on to another host unless we get a sample grunt by you, Bonsai.
Oh my god. Okay. Miss Bonsai, you host. We go next.
All right. That was everything I wanted it to be. Javia, how about you? How you been this week?
I've been so good. It's Pride Month. We are stealing your souls. Give them to us. We must have them. I've been playing a lot of board games. I got some new ones. I've been so excited. I wanted to show you guys. This big box is called Dice Realms.
Ooh.
It's amazing. You roll the dice, and then you pop the dice faces off, and you pop new dice faces on them to upgrade your kingdom and get more points. It's super fun.
Wow.
Huge. It has so much components, so much replayability.
Is the die as big as it looked on the cover? I mean,
No. They're pretty huge. They're bigger than the ones in Dice Forge, and I love those dice, but these ones are like even heavier. It's really cool.
Oh, and then I got out of metal?
No, they're heavy, but they're not heavy metal, unfortunately.
Okay.
And then this one is called Feed the Kraken. I've been waiting for this one for years. I was so excited about it. You play as sailors, pirates, and cultists who are sailing the seas on the SS Unstable, and it's basically a big game of Secret Hitler, where one team is trying to get everyone to the king, one team is trying to get everybody to the pirate cave, and the cult leader is just trying to drown everybody and feed them to the Kraken.
Love
so
that.
much fun. It's amazing. Plays up to 11 people. I had such a great time playing it. It was the best.
How many people did you play with?
I played with 6, and it was still really, really fun.
That's awesome. And last but certainly not least, Peter, tell us about yourself. How you been?
I have been excellent. I want to join in and saying Happy Pride Month and commit myself to being as good of an ally as possible while recognizing it's not about me, it is about you. And so
it's all about me.
There you go. Oh, yes. Okay. And also, we are all playing Star Trek later on after TableTakes. On TableTakes game night, the 4 of us plus Sarah Moore will be going beyond, boldly going to the final frontier, and maybe even a little bit further. We'll see. So I can't wait about that. A lot of fun.
Do we have any special guests coming to join us?
Yes, we do have a special guest. Yes, thank you, Javion. During our Star Trek game, we will have a special guest coming in for one scene. Tony Sloan from Nerdbotchery Adventures will be part of. He'll be playing Admiral Winston Hill.
I don't trust him already. I don't know what it is. Every time there's an admiral in Star Trek, it's never good news.
That's right. You start off with a bang, right? And we also will have a guest on this show a little later. Can I be the spoiler?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Spoilers.
Momedos is going to be joining us. Momedos is the winner of the Diana Jones Emerging Designer Program, and we get to interview her later in the show, so please stick around.
Awesome. And
how are you, Noir? How are you been doing?
Yeah.
Me? Oh shucks, guys. I've been pretty cool. It's been an interesting week. You all beat me to saying Happy Pride, so I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna say have a vigilant Pride. Don't ever forget Stonewall was a riot. Set something on fire in support of the LGBTQA plus community, like a candle.
Like,
Yeah.
close GBD.
Uh,
Okay.
Sorry.
but you know what? From that point, we're just gonna hop right in, and we're gonna hop into something that I think all of us are looking forward to, Gen Con. I think Peter, you got some news for us in that regards.
Well, I'm always happy to talk about Gen Con. You know me, sign me up. It is 55 days away from Gen Con 55. Yeah, that's so cool. Math, numbers, it's always works out great. Yes, we are so excited. And we want to say thank you to Visit Indy. Visit Indy is this amazing group of people in the city of Indianapolis that coordinate between people coming there to run big events like us and the local hotels and restaurants and just make our life as Gen Con so much better. And they did this wonderful article called 55 Ways to Celebrate Gen Con 55th Anniversary. So, like number 1, participate in more than 13,000 gaming events. Number 2, see the latest games from Mattel, Spin Master, Catan, Pokemon, Hasbro, Fun, and many, many more. LARPing. Number 3 is LARPing. Yes, need we say more? Are you getting nervous? I'm going to list all 55. Oh, good. Oh, good. I'm so glad you're just a little bit nervous about that. Number 4, return to Lucas Oil Stadium for the first time since 2019. Number 5, find and playtest rare games from the Gen Con. Now you really are getting a little nervous, aren't you?
I just hope we
Trust me, there are 55. I won't make you make me prove it. Okay. There are 55 great reasons to come to Gen Con. I'm scrolling through lots of beautiful pictures. Go to the visitindy.com website and see the whole list. But I mean, you guys already know. I mean, it's really cool. Also, hey, by the way, while we're on the topic, put in a little plug for Gen Con merch from Rollacrit. I'm again wearing my Gen Con merch shirt. I wore it before. I wasn't sure I pointed out the forest. Ooh. Sometimes it's hard to see the forest for the tees.
Oh, Bonsai, I like your Gen Con shirt.
You know what? We're gonna move on from that. You know what, Bonsai, before Peter gives us the rest of the 55, I think you need to kind of drive this conversation forward.
Heck yeah, let me get my driving glasses on. Actually, these are terrible because they're red. But if you are into hopping into things like game jams and all kinds of stuff, and also, hey, if you are an emerging game designer and want to put your stuff out there, well, guess what? We're going to drive right through the drive-through RPGs, getting into game jams. Most notably, of course, this is something that, of course, Kickstarter did with Zine Quest, and itch.io also had their own game jams. And during this time, like drive-through RPGs, like, you know what sounds good? I also want to do one of those to promote all of these awesome new emerging artists, like the person we're going to be interviewing today. But so it's called Pocket Quest, and you can go ahead and go to the official website for the rules. But Pocket Quest, their theme for this, generally you want to go ahead and choose a theme, and this theme is going to be summer camp theme to give those sweet summer camp vibes. The due date is August 1st, and the length of the page can be no longer than 20 pages or less with the theme. Drive-Through RPG is supporting the event with design templates in MS World, Infinity, InDesign, and Scrumbus formats, and direct promotion for those who submit. So this is like a really big push for that. And then if you, like I said, if you are all interested in getting into the tabletop role-playing space for design, this is a fairly easy one to get into, low barrier to entry, just so you can kind of dip your toes in the water and see, hey, is this something I want to do and I want to make sure my dreams come true? There you go.
I had a chance to play through some of my my Tiny Tome stuff, and I believe that a lot of them came from game jams like this. There are so many really weird, really interesting ones that can come out, and I love summer camp. And I actually never got to be in the Boy Scouts, but I always wanted to. So I hope somebody makes a Boy Scout one where I can collect badges. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I mean that's really cool. One of the things I love about Boy Scouts is they kind of teach you to think in uniform, almost like a hive mind.
Yeah.
I think Peter could tell us.
Yeah, Noir, I got this. Like a hive mind. Yeah. So back in 2016, one of my favorite people in the whole world came out with a game called Hive Mind, Richard Garfield. And so this game is getting an update, a new version with lots of new arts and some new graphics. This is a party game, supports up to 12 people, but it's very cool. And it reminds me of a game Richard did in the 90s called What Were You Thinking?, which was also kind of a trivia game, but don't panic. This is my kind of trivia game. It's not about getting the right answer. It's about getting the answer that most people think is right, whether it's right or wrong, right? And so how does this relate to a hive mind? Well, you play bees. I mean, this is a very buzzworthy sort of game. You play bees and you ask questions and you have to think alike. Again, it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong, as long as you answer the answer that the most other players also give, because that means you're part of the collective, you're part of the hive. And if you give the wrong answer, then you move a space away from the center of the hive. And if you ever get all the way out of the hive, then game's over and everybody else wins.
Oh, that's pretty nifty. I like that.
Yeah, it's good.
You know what? That's a great way to win. I think I love hearing about other things that are on the way. I think JV, could take it. Okay, you know what? Look, I'm not bonsai, but I'm trying.
Well, we appreciate you trying, Noir. Thank you so much. Okay, so show of hands, how many of y'all love Root? I love Root. Okay. Well, maybe some of you haven't played Root before. Root is one of the most popular board games of the decade. It is a phenomenal game all about woodland creatures and factions fighting for control over the political system. And it's like an area control game, but it's also like a huge card game. Super, super popular. People love this thing. Well, you might have already played some of the expansions. Well, I hope you're not tired, because there are 3 more expansions on the way. That's right. We've got a second Clockwork expansion that gives you more of those bot enemies, so you can play solo with even more characters or even more challenge. The Lizards, the Rivered Folk, the Airy, and the Underground Duchy are all coming with 4 new difficulty tiers each. Excellent content to add in. If you wanted more factions to fight with, you also got the Marauder expansion coming with the Rat Horde. It's the Lord of the Hundreds. They are going to happily burn down the woodland to achieve their goals. But then there's also the Keepers of Iron, Armored Badgers that are seeking to collect relics hidden about the forest. So you can go on a little treasure hunt trying to find these little items with your badger friends, or you could just burn the whole thing down. This expansion enables all newcomers for all kinds of fun. And then the final expansion is the Hireling Box. It includes a bunch of mini factions that the players can hire and change control throughout the game. So it sounds a little bit like the Otters if the Otters weren't a player. So all of these expansions are set to be released in September, hopefully, if there are not too many delays. But I can definitely say, without a doubt, this is a very exciting development for fans of later games.
Yes.
Yes, I'm very excited. I'll just say, if you want a little taste of what Root has to offer, we had a cat vagabond go in and decided that there's too many of factions in one area, so they used their special, which nuked an entire woodland village. That is a very possible thing that can happen.
Yep.
With a fluffy, cute, heartwarming game that is
it is brutal.
It's a power.
Meanwhile, in the subway, where you won't find adorable critters kitten. I was just over here thinking about how cute the armored badger was, and now I know he could be subjected to tactical newts. I'm sorry.
It's one of the greatest games of the decade.
So role play on the subway in a tabletop RPG about underground train lines. This story coming from Dicebreaker. Explore an underground world of trains and adventures in the tabletop role-playing game. Meanwhile, in the subway, a tabletop RPG that's compatible with other titles such as the bizarre sci-fi TTRPG Troika and Electric Bastion Land. Meanwhile, on the subway takes place in a system of train lines underneath a city. The game's subway system doesn't adhere to the rules of any map or route. Rather, the tunnels turn this way and that, leading to any number of strange and unusual stations. Each station, and meanwhile, has its own unique attributes and adventures, with the player characters able to travel through the network to discover new oddities, non-player characters, and stories to tell along the way. I live in Chicago, and I take the L all the time, so any TTRPG that I can play while just kind of vibing on the L is one that I look forward to. And this one looks really interesting. So I haven't had the chance to play Meanwhile, but this is definitely one that I'm gonna put on the list to pick up. I do love the idea of the developers and designers designing these experiences for the things that we do day to day. So just having a quick game that you can play while you're on the subway, or having a game that you can play while you wait for a dentist appointment or something like that. That's really cool, and I hope that's a trend that continues. Have any of you had any experiences with these short TTRPGs that you can play solo?
I have not necessarily short, but meditative solo RPGs that you're supposed to do while just everyday business, and it's just theater of the mind, and it's supposed to be like a meditation RPG that you play and you think of scenarios that you go through. So daydreaming guides, it's great. It's a nice way to relax and not panic about the world,
That's really cool. Something that I find that helps me relax is, just a nice vacation. So you could take that subway to, I don't know, maybe a hotel. Javion, do you have any hotels that you might want to go to?
Sure. I don't know if there's a subway that goes all the way to Japan, but maybe if they build one, you can visit the new board game hotel. This board game hotel opened back in June 2nd, just last Thursday. It's great for some international TTBG traveling, tabletop board gaming traveling. In Osaka, Japan, they opened a board game themed hotel. It's called Mimaru Osaka Station. They have over 130 different board games available for you to play on their second floor, as well as special themed rooms to give you immersive experiences like murder mystery parties, where they have a ghost room that all the dead people have to sit in and wait to hear more from the people who are conspiring to figure out who killed everybody. There's also a lot of original games that get me even more excited, because I saw the collection of some of the games that they have available for people to play. And typically you can only play one at a time, unless you get this special room with extra perks, like you can hoard a bunch of board games all at once instead of having to just play them one by one. But they also have some original games that they've created, like a treasure hunt where you have to go around the hotel looking for these specific items and see who can collect the most first. But I'm really excited for the prank game that they have, where everyone in your room is given different pranks that they have to perform while you're staying there, and you have to do it without getting caught. And it's silly things, it's cute things, like leaving a fork in the fridge, or rearranging everybody's slippers and trying to see if anybody notices, or if they don't. But if they freak out, I'm assuming you get extra points. I'm hoping that's the case. So this looks really, really cool, and it looks like the rooms are starting at around 13,000 yen. That's about $100 in US dollars.
Oh,
but I
panicked.
right. That's what they start at. That's I think 100 per night or something close to that. But you're also getting the opportunity to check out the big theme rooms. Those are about 25,560 yen. That's about 200 US dollars per night. But that's actually not super bad. I mean, for something like this, I wouldn't mind paying like, I don't know, like 300, 400 or something like that. The experience alone for like 2 nights, I would definitely go in on like a big
So
room,
you
get all
want
my
2
friends.
big theme rooms for yourself, right?
I
I was about to
mean,
be like,
yeah.
you got it like that, JVI?
Well, everybody knows I'm a huge solo board gamer, so I would just go there and play all the games by myself.
No, that sounds great. Like, especially if you did like a birthday party, like you and like 12 of your friends, or even like 10 of your friends go in, do a murder mystery party. You stay the night there, you have your theme, and just like have murder mystery stuff done. It's like, yeah, if you have like 10 friends, everybody chips in like $20.
Yeah,
Ooh.
like I think what a better way to kick off turning 30. That's my birthday is coming up soon in a couple of years. So I'm dreading it. I'm dreading it. But hey, I think it could take my mind off of it.
Oh man, that's amazing. Speaking of something that is amazing, Cypher System is getting an open license. That's right. Monty Cook Games is announcing the Cypher System open license. Monty Cook Games has announced that this summer they will be releasing a Cypher System open license, aka Seesaw. But Seesaw will allow other designers and publishers to build content based off the Cypher System reference document, Cypher SRD. That will include most of the rules of the base game, as well as content from additional sources. The CSLL and its associated SRD are only coming out later this summer. But in the meanwhile, they have announced 3 projects being built on the open license. Mystery Flesh Pit National Park, a blend of cosmic horror, satire, and awesome art that has been a big hit with the world building communities for the last few years, is getting its own TTRPG. That name hits in a weird way. Mystery Flesh Pit. That was my nickname in high school. GM Roulette, a low, no role playing experience that involves constantly trading the GM role between players over the course of a single session.
That's
and
cool.
I do love that. And Blood and Chrome, a cyberpunk source book for the Cypher system. So, we're going to have a lot more tools for creating your very own games. I know that a lot of us use WotC's SRD, and I hope this is a trend that continues. I think having access to more rule mechanics just leads to more amazing stories being told all the way around.
I mean, we talk about the Cypher system a lot, and Monty Cook Games in general. I still haven't even played it before. I mean, as much as we talk about them on the show, I feel like we might be able to like convince them to let us showcase their game, maybe on game night. I don't know.
Yeah, we should get Monty Cook to come on here and run a game for us.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'm down for it.
Yeah, do it.
I would start the email right now, but I think I'm the next topic. Speaking of Monty Cook, Monty, you are too experienced to qualify for the Diana Jones Emergent Designer.
You're taking your name off the list, but that's absolutely. I'm just gonna ride on the back of your segue. So, Peter, why don't you tell us a little bit more about the Diana Jones awards?
Right. So, first of all, the Diana Jones Award is a industry award of one for the last 2 decades or so. Every year, it's one game or person or even an idea, like Irish charity auctions, wins the Diana Jones Award. And now now the program has 2. We don't want to say 2 awards, so the other is called a program. We launched it last year. It's called the Emerging Designer Program, and it is a way to put a spotlight on people new to the scene who are doing amazing work. And so this idea was immediately popular. So now the 2nd year of this, and the Diana Jones Committee has just recently announced who the winner is and who the nominees were. So the winners the winner is Momentos, who will be on our show real briefly. We're going to talk real soon. We're going to talk to her later in the show. So I'm going to save that. And right now I'm going to mention who the nominees were, because all these nominees really deserve some attention. So there's Fertessa Elise. Fertessa is a game producer for Funko Games with 3 prior titles under her belt. Nick Butler, who designed Tidebreaker and has work featured in a couple of other zines as well. Miguel Angel Espinoza, who is a Mexican game designer who recently published a Mexican mythology-inspired TTRPG, also translates TTRPGs to Spanish. And we also have Julio Nazario, the designer behind the games Holy, Festival of Colors, and Control, CTRL. I think that's supposed to imply the key on your keyboard. But it might be also about Control. Sorry, I don't know that one. And
great.
Also Sarah Thompson, who is a well known for designing the combat wheelchair rules for 5e, and also for work on improving accessibility for tabletop games. So congratulations to all the nominees of the Emerging Designer Program. Very proud to have you part of our community, and hopefully we'll see more of you around.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
And that is our headlines for today. And we're just going to move right along over to the crowdfunder court, aka #crowdfunder. And the only one that could lead us into court today is the one, the only, the renowned Javion, please, if you could.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that introduction, Noir. That was wonderful. Okay, so I told you about the new expansions for Root, but I'm not done with Leader Games yet, because we've got a Kickstarter that, if you haven't heard about it already, I would be shocked to hear it. There are 12,000 backers on this new Kickstarter called Arcs. Arcs is a fast-playing, intense science fiction game with a very innovative campaign. It plays 3 to 4 players. It's ages 14 and up, and it's a 1 to 2 hour game all about not just space exploration, but space conquering. So there is this blight that has taken over the outer systems, and while you are aware of this, and yeah, you could do some things to help out, you've got your own insipid ends to find and complete objectives for. So while there are other players and you are engaging with them in this sort of trick-taking style action game, you're also competing to get these objectives done before they can. There's all kinds of area control. There's tiny little bits that we all love. There's dice included. I can't remember the last Root style game that I was able to use dice in that weren't those big, huge D12s. So this is really cool. We're getting some six-sided ones. And there's a lot of content that they are adding for this project. If you pledge $60, you can get the entire Arcs base game plus a free expansion pack called More to Explore, which adds a bunch of new and interesting cards to the core game. But bump that up to $100, you'll save $35 off the retail price. You'll also get the Blighted Reach campaign expansion, which just adds a bunch of new items, new cards, a huge 6-panel galaxy map, and a very thoughtful storage solution. And if you guys have seen any of my collection, you know I am obsessed with storage solutions. I break down the boxes, I find creative ways to use the baggies, and I love buying these little felt inserts for things. But they have their own that they add into it that you can pledge for. You can also get the miniatures pack that comes with a bunch of really cool looking miniatures that are sci-fi themed, but still have that very signature Letter Games style to them, which kind of feels a little bit like sketched out, but also like really sleek. And yeah, it's a very unique, new dynamic action system that's using the theme of those trick-taking games, like I've said. But you also get these really dramatic battles. And I know that's one thing that I loved about the Root games that I used to play, or that I'm still playing anyway, that are all about like how you interact with these like asymmetric different styles of factions. Well, the innovative campaign uses a lot of that in it. You're going to see some things that you have never seen before in board games. They're using so many new mechanics that they're introducing to you over time. It's a really cool looking game. The Kickstarter, you still got some time left. It's only 3 days left, and they've already reached their 100,000 goal tenfold. They are already on $1.2 million backed into this Kickstarter. It is going to be really, really cool. So you guys should definitely check it out.
Heck yeah. Well, thank you for that submission. Next, we have Peter, who will be delivering onto us an amazing crowdfunder as well. Please, if you could.
Thank you, Your Honor. I am proud to present the original Adventures reincarnated number 7, Dark Tower. Now, be careful. There is more than one use of Dark Tower in the world of tabletop games, maybe even on this show, maybe even in this very segment. I am here to talk about a reboot of the role-playing adventure from, I think, 1979 or so by Judges Guild called Dark Tower. And oh my, I played this. I have to admit, I played this. It is a hell of an adventure. It is coming back, compatible with 5e and also compatible with Dungeon Crawl Classics by Goodman Games. And I'm just going to read you a short intro, like the intro that sets up this campaign, because it's so good. Situated in the Red Moon Pass, a once popular trade route between bustling cities, was a hermitage for devout followers of Mitra. It eventually developed into the first Mitraic temple, complete with an ornate bleached white tower. In addition to its good-aligned followers, celestials were attracted to the stronghold and bolstered the ranks of good. But such a bastion of goodness gained the attention of the vile god Set, ancient sworn enemy of Mitra. In an inky darkness of a moonless night, a massive black tower was conjured with deific might, crushing most of the village. The ranks of Set's faithful hordes poured forth and delivered savage carnage on the devotees of Mitra and innocents alike. The very earth roiled in disgust at the bloodshed and destruction wrought by the forces of evil, triggering landslides and burying towers, village, and battleground. You can guess the rest. Time goes by, and then you got to go. Then pretty soon people are like, oh, there's got to be some money down there, right?
Yeah.
The grave robbers, everybody starts getting excited. So yeah, jump forward in time and go see if the legends are true about great wealth being buried beneath the Dark Tower.
How much time do we have left?
How am I supposed to follow that? All right.
We got 5 minutes.
5 minutes? I meant like for the campaign, but thank you for keeping us on time as well. 4 days to go.
Crap. All right.
Yeah, there you go. Top that, Noir. You wanted to be... All right, Noir, you have the stage now after Peter's stunning argument.
So my Dark Tower is called Return to Dark Tower. All right, no, I got this. All right, so if you watched Gen Con last year, you saw that I had the wonderful honor of playing Return to Dark Tower's board game, and now they're making a tabletop game based on their board game. It ends January. It ends June 29th. Return to Dark Tower fantasy role-playing is officially licensed in complete fantasy RPG based on their hit board game, powered by Restoration Games and inspired by the original Dark Tower board game from the 1980s. Powered by the Polymorph system and compatible with 9th level games award-winning Mazes fantasy role-playing, the Return to Dark Tower RPG brings dark pulp-inspired storytelling and fast action to the table with modern role-playing rules built on the very deep roots. Each hero is defined by a single polyhedral die, and you roll that die to determine all of your actions, from fighting a dragon to leading a charging army to crafting a potion or healing the sick. Currently, they have met their goal of 19,000. They're at 74,000 right now. We can always show them some love. This is a really, really, really amazing their board game is amazing, and if it follows suit, I know that this RPG is going to be very much in the same vein. So please give them a look, show them some support, and let's make this happen. But that is all of our crowdfunding for today.
No, wait, I got one more. Can I just add one more?
Feel free. You haven't dunked on me enough, Peter. No, I'm just kidding.
Your Honor, sorry, I was late to court, but I just haven't found another advocate. So at the Chaldea Studios, we have an amazing game table by a company in Greece called Rathskellers, and Rathskellers is doing a crowdfunding right now on GameFound for a Sunny Geeks table. I mean, that sounds good. Sunny Geeks. I mean, that's on brand for us. We're here at TableTakes. We're all unicorns and rainbows. We'd like some Sunny Geeks. So they claim to be putting the fun and excitement back into tabletop gaming. That's a bold claim because trust me, we still got. But I'm going to give this still a positive review. This sounds really good. So if you would like a cool game table that's being crowdfunded right now, go to GameFound and check out the Rathskellers Sunny Geeks.
Oh, heck yeah.
I will vouch the game table is really, really awesome. I got to see Peter unveil it when I got to go take pictures for TableTakes. I was like, ooh, look at this fancy gaming table. I'm always one. It's quality wood from that coming from a woodworker. I'm like, this is quality wood right there. So
very nice.
Wow. Yeah, I really want one of these because I mean I like the table that I have right now. It's really long and it's pretty sturdy wood, but I want one of those ones where like this one where it has like cool lights on the inside, like cup holders built in and strange drawers where you don't even know what's inside them or how to use them. And you just like fit like weird like mini trinkets or like, you know, RPG items and stuff like that inside them. That'd be really cool. And it's even got places like hold your cards and all your like your little pieces. I don't have to have all my stuff all over the table for my board games. This would be really cool.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, that's the last of our crowdfunding. And next up, we get to talk to Diana Jones Emerging Design Award winner.
I believe it's a program, not an award.
Program. I keep saying award. But that'll be coming up in just a minute. But before that, I just wanted to ask everybody if we have any thoughts on any of the headlines or crowdfunding that we've reported today that we wanted to kind of go back over. Because I personally am looking forward to Gen Con. I just finished my schedule and it is packed from morning until late evening.
Yeah, I'm super excited because we're going to be doing our kickoff show and our send-off shows.
Hey!
We're bringing TableTakes to Gen Con. We're back again, baby.
And we got Bonsai with us this time.
Yeah, I'm invading. I'm going to be going in and being a streak of orange at this convention. I am very excited. And I hope that you all who are watching would at least take the time, if you see us around and it doesn't look like we're super preoccupied, just be like, hey, we're human beings. Just say hi. We're loving it too. We love your work at TableTakes and stuff like that. I remember going around in 2019 and having a really good time that I think, what is it called? Oh yeah, Peter, we still got to be officiates, right? We said that we'd go ahead and get the paperwork so we could marry people at Gen Con.
Oh yeah.
We need to go become officiates.
Listen, I want to do that.
Why not? Do it for sure.
You see Bonsai or JBI, you go say hi to them. You say hi to me, we fighting on site.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm kidding. But like, there's gonna be a lot that I'm looking forward to. I know Nerd D is gonna be coming back again,
yes. So cool.
And doing an introduction, which I'm super excited for.
Mm-hmm.
He's good. He's so good. He's so good.
He's so good.
I want to get him on the show for the kickoff or one of the send-offs. That'd be so fun.
Hey, let's get him on this show before Gen Con. Let's get him on pre-promote, like
a little demo for us.
I hear you're going to be on Gen Con, right?
Spit some bars.
A little sample.
we're
Taste.
we're taking show production notes live for you guys. But yeah, I want Nerdy on here as well. That's an amazing talent. I know USS Gen Con is going to be at Gen Con, so you can play the USS Artemis. It's a bridge simulator experience. So if you like Star Trek, first off, you should stick around after our show because we got some Star Trek for you. And also, you get to live being on the bridge at Gen Con Indy this year. So can't wait for that. But I mean, I'm just gushing about the things that I'm excited for. You guys have anything top of mind? Because I can keep going.
I am committed to doing a whole arc for Legend of the Five Rings that's ending in a Legend of the Five Rings LARP session. And that's what I'm going down.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I have signed up for at least 3 other tabletop RPGs, and that ends with the conclusion of a LARP of Legend of the Five Rings. And now I have to decide what house I'm going to be. I don't know if I want to be Crane or Scorpion's cool and stuff like that. So I'm trying to think of a character. But yes, this is the only time I can get my partner to LARP. He doesn't like LARPing. And I was like, look, Legends of the Five Rings. You said you're interested in. You want to LARP with me?
I've seen it played, but I've never actually seen like a LARP for it. Now that sounds crazy.
It's a great, we had a big, Sarah Krause ran an L5R one shot last night here on Gen Con TV. It was great. It's like all of a sudden everybody's talking about L5R lately.
Yeah.
Like I got to read, I can tell you one really quick L5R story. I played, I think it's called Epic L5R, something at in Ireland at Gary Jackson's convention. And it is a, they have a huge map of Rokugan that they built like a diorama. Like it's like an 8-foot by 8-foot table. That's a map of the world. And then they have miniatures that are the armies, right? Okay. And each miniature, there is a guy in the next room or gal in the next room with an L5R deck from the trading card game that represents that miniature. Okay. And so we had like 120 or so people playing the L5R TCG. And we would move the miniatures around, and then whichever miniature spot other miniatures, those people had to play to see who won.
Wow.
Crazy.
So, I have never experienced anything with Legend of the Five Rings, so this all sounds a lot to me, but I kind of want to check it out.
Yeah, I know the card game kind of slowed down a little bit when the RPG came out, and that's when it like sort of blew up again, because it was an RPG before it became like a card game. And like, well, actually, no, it was more of like an immersive card game. It wasn't really. It was still some role playing, but not
legacy card game.
That's
what it is. Legacy card game that the players
felt like you were role playing.
So I kind of love the idea of this franchise mixing different forms. So I know there's a tabletop Legend of the Five Rings. There's a card game and there's a LARP.
Well, I think they're all out of print now, but I mean, it's all back in the 90s. The guy that would know was staying in 804 last night. He just left like 2 hours ago. We could have asked him, John Zinzer.
Darn it. You got to hop on all these interviews, Peter. Give us all the
But I'll tell you this much, though. The Gen Con morning and evening shows are now going to have coverage on literally every aspect of nerdery because nobody knows more about board games than Javion. I can tell you that with full confidence.
I mean,
awesome.
I am a TTRPG nut job. I love all TTRPGs. And now we've got Bonsai. You've got the LARP section all covered up.
LARP and crafts. So I am going to try seeing if I could get some of my crafting folks that are doing like all of the classes on there. See if I could get them to talk to us because you know what? There's a lot of high quality stuff. Also, hey, I also judge plushies. So if you happen to be a vendor that's, showing plushies around and you want me to see your plushies, just saying.
Show us your plushies.
Your plushies.
Can that be the hashtag? Show us your plushies.
I mean, I still remember from last year when we had those that plague doctor that you brought, Noir, and my giant turtle. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. We had them on the show and everything.
I got my guy right back there. Plus, a Twax is the tellable.
There it is.
So I gotta pimp one thing that's gonna happen at Gen Con. So we are doing an actoroki. Sarah Moore is organizing this. I'm too busy to do anything at Gen Con. I don't really know what I do at Gen Con. I just know I'm super busy, but I'm never really able to explain it. Sarah is going to do an actoroki episode, which starts with the RPG. It's going to be on Thursday, and instead of doing like editing, like filming actors acting it out and then editing it together, which is really crazy to do in like 4 days while you're at the funnest event in the world. Sarah is organizing a stage, like a theatrical version of it.
Oh, snap.
So, yeah. So she and 4 or 5 actors, I don't know who all, are going to get together and choreograph, figure out a little theater play.
Oh my god!
Based on the story, and that's going to happen at Gen Con too. So,
wow, we're taking actoroki to a new level.
All right. Well, I think it's sad to say that our guest has not made it. We've been. I think we're left with no choice but to hope that she's okay and wrap it up.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
we could talk. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Please go ahead.
We need time for our outros and everything else. So.
Okay. Yeah. No worries.
I was just gonna say, well, we'll get them next time. But that has been our episode of Tabletops. Wow. Table Takes for today. Can you tell I'm really excited for Star Trek? I'm like trying to jump straight to it. Stick around. Stick around because up next we have Table Takes Game Night. We'll be playing Star Trek Adventures, which has been sponsored by Modifius. The 4 of us are going to be playing plus Sarah Moore. And real talk, shout out to Modifius. We got these really cool Star Trek die. I'm super duper excited about that.
Right here.
Yeah.
Then at 5 p.m., join us for some joyful gaming around Sarah's table. A GM, Sarah Moore, is going to go solo RPG. Nerd Botchery Adventures continues this Sunday, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. D&D, cosplay, and a whole lot of Dwarven Forge. God, I love Dwarven Forge. And for our Gen Con TV streaming schedule, Mondays at 4 p.m., we have board games with the Brothers Murph. Join Brothers Nick and Murph as they play various games throughout the hobby. Tuesday at 4 p.m., Out of Character with Mark Tassin. And this week's guest is going to be Cat Rambo, which is the dopest name of all time. If you don't think of a cat with a gauntlet gun, then your imagination needs work. At 5 p.m., Kathy paints. Join Kathy Pell for painting tips, tricks, and fun. Wednesdays at 6 p.m., we have Actoroki Series 3, the script reading. Thursday at 10 a.m., Blood on the Clock Tower, a social deduction bluffing game for 5 to 20 players on opposing teams of good and evil, overseen by a storyteller who conducts the action and makes crucial decisions. At 4 p.m., roll with Rem Alternates, interviews with the creator and developers, and Shadowrun. Then join us back here next Friday for more Table Takes and Table Takes game nights, and of course, Sarah's Table. Again, thank you so much for sticking with us and watching our show. We love the participation. We love everything that you guys say in the chat. And if you're watching the VOD, we love everything that you leave on the YouTube comments as well. So thank you to the viewers. Again, thank you to my lovely co-hosts, Bonsai, Javion, and Peter. Wouldn't be a show without you folks. And remember, if you miss any of our programming, you can check out the VODs here on Twitch or on YouTube 24 hours later. And please follow GCTV here for more of the best 4 days in gaming all year round. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in a bit.